Beware, 10 hidden red flags of a covert narcissist you often overlook. Welcome back to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and share this video with friends and family so that more people can wake up to the hidden realities around them. It's easy to be fooled by appearances. After all, not everyone who smiles at you has good intentions. There are people out there, narcissists, who can quietly infiltrate your life and wreak havoc, leaving emotional scars that may take years to heal. So, stay alert, stay grounded, and above all, always trust your instincts. Your gut feeling is one of the strongest tools you have to recognize manipulation and protect yourself. Today, I want to take you through 10 toxic behaviors you are likely to encounter in a relationship with a female covert narcissist. These behaviors are subtle, often invisible to outsiders, but their impact can be profound and lasting. Understanding them is the first step toward protecting yourself and reclaiming your peace of mind. Let's dive in. Number 1. Using emotional crises as a tool of control. Covert narcissists have a unique way of weaponizing vulnerability. Unlike the loud, explosive, grandiose narcissist, the covert type hides behind a facade of fragility, helplessness, or victimhood. When she experiences stress, sadness, anxiety, or overwhelm, it isn't always just genuine distress. It can be a strategic maneuver designed to manipulate those around her. Her emotional breakdowns become the center of attention, and you'll notice that suddenly your life is bending around her crises. These moments often arrive at the most inconvenient times, just when you try to set a boundary, celebrate a personal achievement, or make plans for yourself. And in those moments, you're expected to abandon your own priorities to address her drama. Over time, this pattern subtly erodes your autonomy, leaving you feeling trapped, exhausted, and perpetually responsible for her emotional state. Number 2. Hidden motives and partial truths. Covert narcissists rarely lie outright. Instead, they favor a more insidious approach. They tell half-truths, omit key details, and remain deliberately vague in conversations. This creates a cloud of uncertainty, leaving you constantly questioning your own memory, interpretations, and judgment. Was that comment really meant that way? Did she actually say what I think she said? This fog of doubt is intentional, a tool to shift responsibility and control. By keeping you uncertain, she makes herself look like the misunderstood party while subtly undermining your confidence. Over time, you begin to doubt your perceptions of reality, giving her even more power over you. Number 3. Casting herself as the ultimate empath. Many covert narcissists claim to be highly empathetic, but their empathy is self-referential. It revolves around their feelings, their pain, their needs, not yours. Even when her actions harm you, she has a remarkable ability to turn the conversation back to herself. You might say, "That hurt me when you did X," only to hear, "You're making me feel like I'm a terrible person," or "I guess I'm always the problem." These statements are not apologies. They are strategic reversals of roles. Suddenly, you are the one who feels guilty, selfish, or oversensitive, while she positions herself as the wounded, misunderstood, and virtuous party. Conversations with a covert narcissist leave you confused, emotionally drained, and questioning whether your needs and feelings are valid. Number 4. Gossip, triangulation, and smear campaigns. Covert narcissists rarely confront issues directly. Instead, they manipulate people around them, spreading half-truths, rumors, and selective information to destabilize your sense of reality. Triangulation is a favorite tactic, pitting friends, colleagues, or family members against each other, using others as pawns in her schemes. This creates an environment where she remains untouched, safely portraying herself as the misunderstood victim, while you feel isolated, undermined, and unsure of who you can trust. Over time, these subtle manipulations make you question not just her motives, but your own perception of events, leaving you perpetually off balance. One of the more subtle yet incredibly powerful tactics of a covert narcissist is the act of comparing you to others or confiding in a third party behind your back. On the surface, it might look innocent. She may casually bring someone else's opinion into a conversation, saying she just wants advice or is venting her feelings. At first, it seems harmless, almost normal. But over time, a pattern emerges. You begin to realize that these seemingly casual comparisons or confessions are rooted in deeper motives: insecurity, jealousy, and a need to assert dominance. Every word she speaks, every subtle comparison, is carefully calculated to regain attention, manipulate outcomes, and subtly discredit your perspective. What appears as innocent sharing or emotional processing is actually a strategic move to control the narrative, keep you off balance, and make you doubt your own judgment. It's this hidden manipulation that makes covert narcissists so challenging to recognize at first, because their tactics are never loud. They're insidious, quiet, and psychologically sophisticated. Number 5. Entitlement disguised as vulnerability. Unlike a grandiose narcissist, who often demands attention overtly, a covert narcissist works in quiet, indirect ways. She will present her expectations as needs, framing them as small requests for understanding, support, or patience. At first, you want to help. You rearrange your schedule, offer emotional support, provide financial help if needed, and try to be attentive to her subtle cues. It feels good to be needed, to show empathy, and to respond to her vulnerability. But slowly, the requests never end. Each small favor turns into another expectation, and another, creating a web of unspoken obligations. She gives little in return, expresses minimal gratitude, and expects compliance without question. The more you give, the more she takes, and eventually, you feel like there is no end to her demands. It's exhausting because what begins as empathy and kindness gradually becomes a cycle of overextension, guilt, and pressure, where your own needs are constantly pushed aside. Number 6. Disguised criticism. A covert narcissist has a remarkable talent for turning judgment into something that appears caring. Criticism is rarely direct. Instead, it's wrapped in a cloak of concern or advice. She might say, "I'm just worried about you," or "maybe you should consider doing this differently," which sounds nurturing on the surface. But beneath that veneer of care is a sharp attack, targeting your decisions, appearance, behavior, or even your character. Over time, this repeated subtle critique wears down your confidence. You begin to question your choices, second-guess yourself constantly, and lose trust in your own instincts. The result is a creeping sense of inadequacy, where even simple decisions feel like potential mistakes under her judgmental gaze. Number 7. The inability to accept feedback. Attempting to address an issue or express your concerns can feel like navigating a minefield. Bring up a problem gently, and suddenly, you're labeled the aggressor. She may withdraw emotionally, ignore you physically, or give you the cold shoulder without explanation. This silence is not neutral. It's a weapon, a method of control designed to keep you anxious, uncertain, and constantly guessing what you did wrong. If you persist in addressing the issue, gaslighting usually follows. She denies there is a problem, flips the narrative, and paints you as emotionally immature, unreasonable, or even abusive, simply for trying to communicate. Over time, you learn that speaking up is futile, that any attempt to resolve the issue only makes things worse. In this way, silence becomes a survival tactic, and your sense of self-expression is quietly suffocated. Number 8. Conditional affection. In the world of a covert narcissist, love is never unconditional. Affection, warmth, and emotional availability are always contingent. They depend entirely on whether you are meeting her needs, on her schedule, and in the way she expects. Step out of line, even slightly, or assert a boundary, and suddenly the attention, care, and love you relied on vanish. In their place comes coldness, withdrawal, or subtle passive-aggressive punishment. Over time, this creates a relationship that feels transactional, where affection must be earned rather than freely given. You begin to live in a constant state of calculation, trying to gauge how to behave, how to react, and how to maintain her approval. Security becomes elusive, and the emotional landscape feels unpredictable, keeping you in a perpetual state of tension and uncertainty. When she gets her way, a covert narcissist can appear charming, warm, and even completely normal. She may nurture you, listen attentively, and make you feel genuinely understood. In those moments, it can seem like you've finally found the partner you hoped for, someone who supports you and values your presence. But this facade is fragile. The instant you voice a need, express a boundary, or show any disagreement, the warmth evaporates. Coldness takes over, and suddenly, the relationship feels transactional, as though affection and love are not freely given but must be earned through compliance and obedience. Her approval becomes unpredictable, fluctuating with her moods and with how well you are fulfilling her desires in any given moment. Over time, this unpredictability creates a constant state of tension. You begin walking on eggshells, carefully measuring your words and actions to avoid triggering her displeasure, always attempting to maintain a fragile peace. Number 9. The double bind. Being in a relationship with a covert narcissist often feels like there is no right way to act. Every choice seems wrong. Speak up, and you're criticized for being harsh or insensitive. Stay quiet, and you're accused of being distant or uninvested. Try to help, and you're labeled controlling. Pull back, and you're abandoning or neglectful. No matter what you do, you end up trapped in a no-win scenario, constantly second-guessing yourself and doubting your instincts. This relentless pattern of criticism and contradiction leaves you feeling powerless and insecure, unsure how to respond to any situation without inadvertently causing conflict or disappointment. Over time, this double bind erodes your confidence, leaving you anxious and hesitant, and makes even the simplest interactions feel like navigating a minefield. Number 10. The fixer's trap. Covert narcissists have an uncanny ability to draw in partners who are empathetic, patient, and nurturing. People who believe that love, understanding, and care can heal the wounded side of the narcissist. You notice the vulnerable, fragile aspects of her personality, the scared, little girl behind the confident exterior, and convince yourself that with enough compassion, you can help her feel safe and create stability in your relationship. You hope that your patience and support will lead to a breakthrough, a moment when she finally recognizes the pain she has caused and begins to change. But here's the harsh truth: it never happens. The more you give, the more enmeshed you become in her complex emotional web. Your energy, patience, and sense of self are gradually drained, leaving behind confusion, self-doubt, and emotional exhaustion. No real breakthrough comes because she does not see herself as the problem. Accountability and self-awareness are foreign concepts. She expects you to adapt, to continue serving her, and to supply her needs without question. Your efforts to fix, soothe, or support only reinforce the cycle. If you are trapped in a relationship like this, where your needs are constantly dismissed, your value questioned, and manipulation is routine, it is essential to seek help. A therapist who specializes in narcissistic personality disorder and abuse can provide guidance, validation, and strategies to reclaim your autonomy. They can help you understand the patterns, regain confidence, and begin the process of breaking free while rebuilding your sense of self, so you can step into a life that is not dictated by someone else's control and manipulation.